Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and if things seem a little wider today, it's because we are taking a look at, and I'm really excited about this, some of the first product for the G.I. Joe 50th anniversary line. It is the Firebat Attack G.I. Joe Kreo set. Basically, it is your standard Kreo box. Here in the top, you have the G.I. Joe 50th anniversary logo. In this silver bar, right where my finger is, it does give you the years, 64 to 14. Nothing that special, but I do like the understated look. And like I said, it's your typical Kreo box, only at Toys R Us. All Kreo now is going to be a Toys R Us exclusive. You have your 3 figures, and that's about it. But nothing special. I just wanted to give you a quick look to see what it is. So let's get into it and take a look at the Kreons. You do, like I said, you do get 3 in this set. Bazooka, who apparently we can no longer call Bazooka. They might have lost the name. So he's Sergeant Katzenbergen. Sounds like the guy from Cheers. But yeah, and you have a Congo who apparently drives the Wolverine, and the Cobra pilot. And right here, you're kind of seeing one of the issues I have right off the bat. And that is the fact that only one figure stand was included. And even then, it really wasn't a figure stand. They always include that extra Kreo brick with the name on it. But yeah, I mean, these are the basic builds. I mean, here's the Cobra pilot, which is the pilot for the Firebat. Let me clean up the zoom right here. We can give you a clear shot. Funny thing, that's an all-black head right there. There's no mask or any type of facial expression. So there are divots where the chin is, so you do know where it's going the right direction or the wrong direction. Next up is Recondo, who I mentioned. This is a great figure. I'm really happy to have him because Recondo was one of my favorite Joes growing up as a kid. I would like to see a true, proper, perfect 30th anniversary and something update better than what we got in that Assault on Cobra Island set, which was left people a little wanting. But one funny, interesting thing about it, and this is one of those great things that Kreo does, as I pop off the hat, it's on the back here, there is a little grip pattern, so you can actually have him holding his hat. Like, hey, get along, you kids! And I just think that's great. That's definitely something that really can only happen in Kreo, that they would even think of doing. And then finally, we have Bazooka. Now, I do want to mention, I don't have it, I have it, but it's in the box. Bazooka does come with one of those green vests that go over. I didn't put it on him. He's not shown wearing it on the box. It doesn't, or at least I haven't figured out how it can hold the bazooka or anything useful like that. And it covers up that great detail, but this is a fantastic figure. Since he's not in a vehicle, I gave him the stand or the extra brick. He does come with a flat 2-point brick that you can put a sticker on, so with the fudgy. So if you have the Wave 1 blind bag quick kick, we now have 2 fudgy bars. In the G.I. Joe universe, we now have 2 fudgy bars. That's kind of cool. The next thing, and I'm a little disappointed about this, is his bazooka. The missile, you have to build it, basically peg the little nub here on the tip of that long stick, and you would think it's supposed to be flick launch or something, but the end doesn't really stick out far enough, and no matter how I flick it, it just doesn't fly. And I'm a little disappointed like that. If they wasn't going to work, I would have rather seen just a fixed missile or something instead of this piece. Because, I mean, this piece can fall out, if you're not, it'll hold for now, but if you start shaking it. So, yeah. So those are the figures. Standard Kreo articulation, ball-jointed legs, ball-jointed arms. Swivel head, swivel hips, swivel wrist, same stuff. Great paint detail. I mean, really, that's what you're buying them for. So yeah, let's move on and take a look at the vehicles. Starting us off is the Firebat. And I have to say, right off, I thought that the Firebat came out a little small. I was actually very surprised by how small both vehicles are in this set, but I guess, for the price point, the parts count, it is what it is. The Firebat does have a few features, namely the wings can fold down. They apparently also, this will be able to interact with the Terradrome, in that it will be able to store inside and be raised out. I'm curious to see how they're going to pull that off, but the rear fins and the fins here on the side of the wings are all on these clip joints, so you can fold them up and down. Really don't know why you would, since they're always supposed to be in that up position. I would have rather just seen something peg-in solid. But yeah, it does have a cockpit here to hold the pilot. Sits in there quite snugly because he pegs in. Yeah, and it's predominantly red. Now, you would, it's kind of funny, but I'll get to it with the Wolverine, but you would think all of the red bricks would be used to build this, with a couple other for color and detail. But like I said, we'll get to that with the Wolverine. There are some stickers here on the wings for the logo. Right here, you can barely see them for the vents. And right here on the tops, that's like a heads-up display cockpit piece. Missiles, unfortunately, don't fire, and they are very clear. Let me turn it around here to show that the fins on the rear are supposed to be on that X position instead of a cross. So, yeah. I went into this set really thinking the Firebat would be my favorite. And in a way, it kind of is, but also the Wolverine is just a much cooler vehicle, which we're going to look at right now. Outside of the Firebat, I was surprised at how small it was, but the Wolverine, I was really surprised. Basically, when I built the front, the main chassis, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is how long it's going to be, but it's not that bad. Again, it's the price point. Interesting thing about it, first of all, you do have real working treads that can roll with the wheels. That is really kind of cool. And it was fun building it. A little nervous because I thought I might stretch and break the rubber. But there are some clips here on the front. There's some sort of hook here on the back. And something that, it's handle pieces for guns. Like certain guns, if you notice from in the other blind bag sets, these are like to make a super cannon or something. So it's like handholds, but there's no foot base. So maybe figures are supposed to hold on to that. I'm not sure. But it kind of get the feeling the Wolverine is meant to interact with another vehicle. Maybe something coming down the line. I'm not sure. There are a few gimmicks. Here you do have a removable chainsaw that can be used. It clips in right here. Also, I do believe that peg is as wide as a wrist peg, which means if you want to do a little Ash from Evil Dead or something, you can have one of your Kreons just have a chainsaw for a hand. But also, this, flip that out of the way, this gray panel flips up. And inside you have an axe and a couple sticks of dynamite. So you do have some extra little utility tools there. A lot of fun, very cool, and I like the fact that it's there. You can probably also throw Rakondo's rifle in there or something, or maybe I don't think you can fit Bazooka's rifle, but it's great that the storage is there and stuff like that. Yeah, and I guess these can be used as peg holes to put Kreons on and stuff like that. And even though I'm not really sure it'd be a good idea, since you have this missile rack. Now, you might think, wow, this has like 6 missiles. No, it doesn't. It's kind of interesting. These do fire. They are pressure launchers, which I really like, but let me just bring this up here so you can get some distance. And, yep. Basically, each missile is an actual missile and an extra head. So you have that kind of illusion of having extra firepower. But, I mean, it is what it is. I think it's still kind of cool. I know kids would really like it, and, just the fact of being able to build pressure launchers and stuff, which is like a relatively new thing in the brick community. One thing that is kind of funny, and actually you can kind of see it right where my finger is, there is red. There are a couple bricks left over from the Firebat, and they're actually used in here, and I think it's kind of funny because you really don't see them. I mean, they're here in the sea, but they're basically covered by all this green and stuff, and some of the tan bricks. But I mean, they're there. They secure some things, but I don't know. I just kind of think that, like, budget reasons, the Firebat, have these extra bricks, and instead of doing the same bricks in a color to match with the Wolverine, they just figured throw them in and, be done with it. No one will notice them. But I just find that kind of funny. So, yeah, this was a fun kit to build. And I'm sure you already saw that the missile rack does rotate and raise. So, before I go much further, let's pause here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. I've said it a few times already, but this is a great set. This is actually, I think, the second set I've built of like a larger vehicle. The first was the Sky Striker X-Wing jet, whatever they were calling it, with the ASP weapon system. And I'm really impressed with the builds. Now, I'm not a regular builder of like Legos, Mega Blocks, but in my opinion, the quality was solid. Things pegged together well. They hold on. I mean, nothing's loose. I mean, well, you're hearing a little shaking. That's his pistol, but nothing's falling off, stuff like that. What I'm really excited about is what I've mentioned previously in the fact that I think this set is building to something. Meaning, we know the Firebat is going to interact with the Terradrome. I think the Wolverine is meant to interact with something else, be towed, or maybe it tows something, or it's towed by something. I'm not sure. But I'm really curious to see where this goes. Now, the other set that's available is the Outpost Defender. And that comes with one of those Cobra ATVs, which, if I remember correctly, on the vintage Terradrome box was shown coming out of a garage, which means there are two smaller sets now that each have a vehicle that's meant to interact with the Terradrome. And which pushes the idea that the Terradrome is going to be the big thing for Kreo this year for the G.I. Joe brand. I'm already pretty much hooked into getting it because it's the Terradrome. People have been asking for years, Terradrome, 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 and I think this is the closest we're going to get to one. But yeah, I got this set, and the Outpost Defender is available on ToysRUs.com. They are starting to show up in stores, but I don't know if they're fully out there yet. So my best bet would be to try ToysRUs.com first. You get 3 figures, 2 vehicles, and it's a lot of fun. This is your old pal Chuck for the Firebat, Wolverine, Bazooka, Recondo, and Cobra Pilot. We'll see you next time.